Now it's time for bedtime stories with Sleepy Luke.
Righty, righty.
Hi, y'alls. How you boys and girls doing tonight? So we gonna read a kind of a nice little story today. It's called Dremlins. And you see, back in 1985, in some boring-ass town in the Midwest, like every fucking 80s movie lived, this dumbass high school kid named Sleepy Lucas, well, he was worse than a regular high school loser, since his dad was a chubby inventor of the worst stuff, and this fat piece of shit invented a product called a dildo, which was a dildo attached to an egg beater. And at home colonoscopy kit, I guess, which was just a, rubber glove smeared with Vaseline. Now, of course, that fucking family of his, well, they was just poor as shit, and since they barely sold any of this shit, but Christmas Eve was coming, so this asshat, he drove to some dumb-ass convention. And somehow, he sold a few dozen dildos. Now, he was on the way home, and he realized he didn't get his shithead son anything for Christmas yet. And that's not good, man. You should get your son something. But anyway, he stopped in Chinatown to get his dick sucked. One of them opium hole houses, that's down there. And at the Yankee Cranky parlor, he saw this little fur jackass creature. And when he offered that old Chinaman who ran the place $7.03, well, that old Chinaman, he shouted, "No!" But when that old man's grandson was jerking Lucas' dad off, he sold him the furry little thing. So Lucas's fat loser dad got home and gave it to him for Christmas. Told him not to get it wet or feed it after midnight. Then he went to the bedroom, fucked his stupid 80s wife with a bush, how they had that bush back then. Anyway, Lucas took the furry little fuck to his room, and he named it Gizmo, after his favorite pastime in the world. And every time his dad fucked his mom, Lucas would go to their bedroom afterwards and lick his dad's jism off the sheets. And he wasn't even quiet about it. His parents were usually still in the bed, and Lucas would shout, "Well, I want to lick all that batter, Daddy." And then lick all that salty, creamy shit up. But it was the 80s, so everyone was cool with it. No one was offended. So anyways, Lucas, he got the biggest boner listening to his parents fucking in the next room. And he knew he just couldn't get his new piece of shit pet wet. But he figured cum was okay, so he jerked off right all over Gizmo. Gave him a facial. Now, all of a sudden, about a dozen little ass balls of fur flew out of Gizmo's back where Lucas came out. And they all turned into more little Gizmos. And Lucas was tired as fuck from coming. So he just done gone and went to bed. And he thought he was having wet dreams all night because he kept on dreaming he was fucking this girl he had a crush on. And he was just coming over and over. But in reality, all the new Gizmos, they were sucking his pimply little dick while he was asleep, sleeping like a baby. Now those naughty little imps, they knew they weren't supposed to eat, but they didn't give a shit. When Lucas woke up, there was some slimy-looking cocoons all over his room that appeared to be coated in jizz. They were all white and gooey and everything. And only the original Gizmo was still all cute and fluffy. If a little bit, crusty from all that jizz from Lucas. Now, dumbass Lucas went to school, and his daddy, he went off to peddle his smutty inventions a few towns over. When Lucas, he got home from school, and the cocoons had hatched, and they were all nasty, mean-looking like gremlins. But he didn't want to get sued, so he called them Dremlins. Plus, he had a horrible speech impediment from his flappy upper lip and that underbite. Now, Dremlins, they done wreaked havoc all over the fucking town. They done set fires, they got crunked, and they murdered most of the townsfolk. Dumbass Lucas found that bitch he dreamed about fucking, and he tried telling her about the Dremlins. But he just spit all over her instead. She kicked him in the nuts. Then the Dremlins killed him while he was just, writhing on the ground, grabbing his nutsack in pain from getting kicked really hard in the testicles like you usually do. I know I would. Now, I mean, it was really fucking bad. And then the Dremlins killed him. He was pissing blood all over the place. That's because one of his nutsack, one of his testicles was ruptured. And it looks like a bloody eyeball hanging out of an eye socket. Then the U.S. Army came on into town, and they disposed of all them Dremlins. And when they found Lucas, they pulled the dumb pants down. And they put everything in a file and marked it as classified. Then they told the national news outlets that a gross Slurpee high school student's ball bag exploded from a little bit too much syphilis that he caught from the crabs, and the crabs that mutated, they done killed everyone. And it was the 80s, so everyone believed it, and they don't live happily ever after. And then they sent Gizmo to Area 51, and he still resides there to this day. And that is the end of that story. But I got more where that came from.
He died.
Wow, that was amazing.
I got a library full of leather-bound books.
Yes.
That was a very good
He went to
story.
Chinatown for that one.
I enjoyed that
Thank
one
you,
a lot.
Ronald. You are a class act, my friend. Fuck yeah.
Thank you very much. You sleep well, boys and girls.
I will.